What is the result of the pandemic? Well, we've had a lot of kitchen, offices, and classrooms appear. Yes, people got too bogged down having to work from home, having their children come home to have to be homeschooled by Zoom, and there were too many books and too many computers lined up on kitchen tables everywhere. And when people started buying houses left and right, well, they weren't the only things that started going up. We had inflation follow. We had home prices going up. We had grocery prices going up, gas prices going up. And that might lead to what people are starting to fear a little bit is a recession. Now, we may have been in two consecutive quarters with a downward trend, but most economists are hoping that the reports that are coming through are going to stave off a recession. But there are a lot of economists that think a recession is coming. But even so, history proves that a recession doesn't equal a housing crisis. As you can see in the graph there, only two of the six previous recessions had home prices drop. And another thing that happens when we have a recession is mortgage rates drop. Now you see these gray bars that come down on this graph. Those represent the recessions that we've had. And if you look closely, in each one of those, the mortgage rates have dropped. And then when you look at mortgage rates all the way over on the right-hand side, you see they've gone up quite a bit in the last year. However, when you compare them to the previous 50 years, mortgage rates are still pretty low right now. I mean, the last dozen years or so, we've been kind of spoiled being under 5%, but for the previous 50 years, they never got under 5%. So what does that tell us? We're still in a seller's market. Home inventory for a seller's market is when you have less than 6 months supply, and when it's a buyer's market, there's more than 7 months supply. Back in 2008, there was 13 months supply, and that's why the prices came down so much. Right now, economists are saying we've got about 2.4%, 2.4 months of supply right now, which isn't very much at all. Hi, I'm Will Morrissey. I'm with the Bridget Morrissey Real Estate at eXp Realty, and I'm glad to bring you this little report and let you know what's going on so you have a better idea of where you stand when you're trying to sell your home or to buy your home. So let's keep going with the report. I've got three secrets I'd like to tell you about. It's things that are popping up in the economy that you probably hear about, but you might not be getting the right report, or not at least the right slant on the report. So let's check out secret number one. You're starting to hear a little bit from NBC News and the Washington Post and CNN, Bloomberg, the New York Times about the layoffs that Walmart is looking to do, starting at the corporate level. And when the nation's largest employer starts laying off people, other companies start to get a little nervous. But the thing that you have to remember is that right now we're at 3.5% unemployment. I mean, unemployment is at a very low peak right now, and we shouldn't be getting all upset about recession because of employment numbers. A second thing that will come to mind is that price reductions on homes. But if you look at the last 6 years, I mean 2021, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, all of them have price reductions as you go into the fourth quarter. Now, we're having more price reductions right now, and they're sounding the alarm bells on that. But the price reductions are from this year's prices, and the prices are reduced to higher than what they were selling for last year. So you don't have to get nervous about prices coming down astronomically. They're just coming down compared to what they were 2 or 3 months ago. You know, it's something that the media likes to report on when something big is happening like this. But it's just normal. Prices come down every year in the fourth quarter. This year they're coming down a little bit more because the prices were up so high to begin with. Now, if you look at this, you want to remember this. You don't want to be pricing your home for what your neighbor got back in April or March when the prices were going up, because right now prices are going down. And if you price your home and those prices I just mentioned, well, you're going to be on the market for a while. And then a month or 2 months down the road, you're going to be reducing the price, and people are going to look and say, what's wrong with that house? Why are they reducing the price? So remember that. You want to be ahead of the curve. You want to reduce the price to a point where it's still very attractive and you're going to get multiple offers, and your price will go back up to where you want it. But if you try to price it where prices were, you might be sitting on days on market for days on end. And what else do we have to think about? Well, secret number 3, foreclosures. The Mortgage Bankers Association has said that pandemic-related foreclosure moratoriums have expired, but the probability of a significant foreclosure surge is minimal. There will still be some foreclosures if the recession deepens, but nothing like it was in 2010. And let me just get into that a little deeper. You're going to see a few foreclosures because that's normal. It's things happen and houses do have to be foreclosed on. But let's take a closer look at the foreclosures. You see all these red bars? Those are millions of foreclosures. I mean, we're talking back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Over 1 million foreclosures nationwide. And you look at the blue bars, we're under 1 million. But if you look at the far right, we're down at 151,000 for last year. Now, they'll go up a little bit, but they're not going to go up into the millions. Not if we have the housing market stay as is. Now, if the recession deepens very, very deeply, well, then we might have a different story here. But the Fed is really working hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. So what does that mean? Numbers don't lie. It's still a great time to sell. And what do the numbers tell us? Well, if you're a buyer, more options now than at the start of the year because there's more homes on the market right now. The current signs do not show the market changing dramatically, so interest rates are going to hover in that 5% range, and pricing is going to be about where it's been. It might come down a little bit, as we said, it comes down in the fourth quarter, but mortgage rates, though higher than recently, are still low. We already mentioned that. And unemployment is very low, which means you have competition from other buyers. And what does that mean for sellers? Well, new listing prices are falling. We already know that. People who want to buy are still buying. The market change is looking like a soft landing, no crash. There are more homes coming on the market, so you have a little bit more competition. And inventory is still very low, though, only half of the peak in 2016. Now let's take a look at the Market Action Index, which is the rate of sales versus inventory. You can see that we're still in a seller's market here. The rate of sales versus inventory is ticking down, however. If you look at last month, that's that gray half circle there. You could see that it's gone down from 53, 54 down to 52. However, it's still very strong above the break-even point between a buyer's market and a seller's market. And I'm going to remind you, the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market, it's generally 6 months supply of inventory, and right now we're only at 2.4 months. So it's still a seller's market. But what do you want to do if you're looking to get into selling your home or buying your home? You want to talk to an agent that knows what's going on in the area. You want to know what your home is worth, what the other homes are selling for. You want an agent that can tell you, how many 2-bedrooms, 4-bedrooms, 3-bedroom homes sold, what was the average price for those homes, where they sold, how many days on market they were. You want somebody that knows all these different things. If you find out all that information from your realtor, you're going to get a listing price suggested that's really going to make your home sell instead of sitting on the market. You want to trust your realtor. You want one that can answer your questions like, should I renovate my house before I sell it? Right now, probably not a good idea. It's still hyper competitive out there, and there's buyers are willing to fix what needs to be fixed for their liking rather than you trying to decide what kind of kitchen they're going to like, or what, how should I remodel the bathroom or whatever. Save yourself some money. Let the buyer make those decisions. You want somebody that knows how to get your information out there, knows how to put all your information on the internet, and can get your home in front of different people and get your buyers coming to you. You want a realtor that can tell you how to have better curb appeal. Like Bridget Morrissey is a great gardener, and she'll tell you how to get your house looking fine from the outside without spending a whole lot of money. Little things, putting down mulch, picking up dead branches, power washing or staining your deck. These little things will make a big difference when it comes to curb appeal and how people want to make an offer in your home. So if you need any more information than this again is just to give you an idea of what's happening in the market. You want to call or text Bridget Morrissey at 860-857-5165. You can visit her at her office, and you can go on her website at bridgetmorrissey.com to get this information. Again, I hope this was helpful, and we hope you have a great day.